record, and then I am going to my custom size section, and I'm going to change the units to inches so we can do a 8.5 by 11 inch canvas, and this is the standard canvas for any kind of coloring book. You can also do 6x9 if you're trying to do a flashcard type of coloring page, but this is usually the size. And what I also like to do is hit file and show margins. Now, when you
Was that in pixels? I'm sorry, when you did the 8.5 by 11, was that pixels?
no, ma'am. So I changed the units to inches.
Inches, got it. Okay.
Yes.
I'm with you. All right.
And then you would go to the file and select show margins.
Okay.
Now, the margins is only going to show on your end. So when you are printing it out, or if the customer is printing it out, they won't see the margins. What I like to do is before publishing on KDP, I like to add my own margins so that if I'm writing inside this box, I want everything to look organized and put together. Considering the customer doesn't see this box, it's not going to look put together. So what I like to do is I go into lines and shapes, and depending on what border you want, you can select the square or you can select the rounded. In this case, I'm just selecting the rounded square, and then I'm going to change the color to white. Right next to the color change, I'm going to use the border style. And I can either keep the border solid, or I can also change it to a dashed border like so. And then I like to grab my box. Let me know if you want me to slow down. I can.
No, I'm good with you.
Great. I can grab my box and I can kind of just put it over the border. If I don't want my border to be like, let's say, far apart from the actual paper, I can make sure that it's maybe a 1/2 inch away from the actual margin line, but I don't want it to be too far away because Amazon is going to give you an error message that it's away from the margin. So you want to make sure it's at least 1/2 inch away if you want your border to be larger. And then when it comes to, let's say, the title, so this section we can put "this book belongs to." So I'm just going to write that, "this book belongs to." And then there are 3 type of fonts that I like to use in different type of children activity books. In this case, I am going to type in Fredoka 1. Whoops. And it kind of gives it a bubble appeal, but this works for a lot of the children's books that I use. There's also, I'll get into it. So let's just go to the element section, and then we are now selecting the line. So I'm going to bring the line down a little, and I want to maximize it so that someone can write their name. And for this instance, the person will just write their name over the line, but you can also make it into a tracing workbook. And in the way you do that is maximize it to fit the page, duplicate, and you want to duplicate 2 more lines. So you want to have 3 lines in total. This is for tracing. What I like to do is I like to minimize the line weight to 1. The middle weight, I bring it down to 1, but I like to keep it dashed so it can look like a sky, fence, and ground image. a sky fence and ground line, and then the bottom weight, I also like to put it down to 1. So if I zoom a little, it's now a sky fence and ground. And
Okay.
if you wanted to personalize it, you can put someone's name. So let me just type in John. And so right now it's just a regular font, but we can change it. Okay, let me just fix this. We can change it into a dotted line. Excuse me, a dotted font. So the way we can do that is we can use Canva student font dot. And that turns it into a dotted line. Or we can also use Hollywood. And that also makes it into a dotted font. You can also go into Creative Fabrica. And let me zoom out. So on Creative Fabrica, I'm not sure if you have ever kind of looked at what they have, but they have a lot of decorative fonts. And if you have the subscription, all the fonts are unlimited downloads. And I can go into the font section and I decorative, and it shows me a lot of fonts that I can use in the activity books. That is if you want to use different type of fonts. Yeah. So let's just go back. All right, so we turned this section into a tracing image, and then actually what I am going to do is I'm going to duplicate the page, and I'm going to lock this border. And then I'm just going to erase what's inside, because at first I didn't create multiple pages with the border, which is, I should have did that to begin with. But now I have the first page and I have a page with the border. I'm just going to keep duplicating so that I don't have to recreate the border over again. Yes.
How did you lock the border again?
Select the border, click the 3 dots, and there should be a lock button next to your paper clips.
Okay. Got it.
And then depending on what kind of book you are trying to create, let's say we're going to do maybe the number 1. So I'm just going to select a font and write number 1. And then I'm going to select the text box and write the word out that says 1. I'm going to change the first font to the Fredoka 1. And then the second font we can turn into the dotted Hollywood font. So it's going to look like this. And then let's say I wanted to add maybe an animal to the page. All I type in the element section is animal outline. And now some animals will pop up. And of course you can click the dotted line to see what the licensing is on these images. But it does say that you can use it for commercial use and you can use it for POD. selling on any merchandise. So I like to use the fonts that come, the images that come here, but you can also go to Creative Fabrica and type digital stamps.
Digital stamps.
Yes, so let's go here. So when typing in digital stamps, there will be a lot of black and white images that pop up. And a lot of these will either say commercial license or POD. You can also, if you don't want to sift through which one is print on demand, you can scroll down and select where it says special license, click on POD. And all of these you can use in your coloring images. They have unicorns, they have bumblebees. They offer a lot of different black and white images. Do you know how to download something from Creative Fabrica and upload it to your Canva?
I don't know. I don't think I've done that yet. I don't think.
Okay, I can. Would you like me to show you? I can download.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
Sure.
So it is in a sense like uploading downloading a font and then uploading. So I'm just going to click on the vehicles here. And then here it tells me that there are 5 PNG files, which means it's compatible to Canva. Some of the files may say AI for Adobe Illustrator, and it won't upload to Canva. So you want to make sure that they also offer PNG or JPG.
Okay.
All right, so now I'm going into my file section. Now I have a lot in my file, so right here. So here is the vehicle and trucks that we just downloaded. I'm going to extract all. And then now that I have extracted all, I'm going to my upload section. I can actually just go into my, scroll down into folders, and then I'm going to click create new, and I'm going to type in vehicle images just to keep it organized. And then I'm going to create the folder, select files. I'm going to open the folder up, drag over, and upload them. And now I can click on the truck that I would like to use. And I will just move the one over a little. I can add the tractor like so. And then if I wanted to change the one into a coloring image, I can click effects and hollow. And I can choose the weight, the thickness of my outline on the number. Excuse me. And then let's say, for example, if my background color was, let's just choose green. No, that didn't work. Okay, so let's just say I have two tractors. And if I wanted to, okay, if I wanted to, okay, this is not working. Let's start over. Okay, there you go. So let's say I have two tractors and I wanted to be able to put the number like somewhere here, but you can see the outline of the tractor still. That's because we're
Mhm.
using hollow. Now, hollow basically means that you've created the outline for the font or number that you're using, but the inside is blank. One way you can use to where that tractor does not show, you go to Effects, click Splice. Now, the difference between hollow and splice is hollow has nothing in the middle, and splice comes with something in the middle. So you can easily change your gray color to white. You can put the direction at 0, the offset at 0, and now you have the number that you cannot see through.
Gotcha.
And then now comes, let's see. Let's say you wanted to create a handwriting, book, whether it be for cursive or for like preschool kids that are trying to learn penmanship. So we can, what I'm doing is getting a line from the element section. And then, whoops, I am maximizing it. And then I am going to duplicate it. And then I'm going to duplicate it again so that there are 3 lines. And I'm going to do the same thing I did in the beginning where I'm changing the line weight to 1. Like so. And then I'm going to change the middle line to a dashed line. And now I want to make sure my border is locked. And I'm going to drag over my lines so that I can group them. And I'm going to duplicate. And I'm going to leave a space. Let's see. And then I'm going to duplicate if it's going to let me. Okay, what? Okay, so my duplicate button didn't show for a second. Have you ever used, do you have anything published on Amazon?
I don't.
Okay.
That's kind of what I want to kind of get into next is the business account and trying to sell stuff there too.
Okay, so let me actually so you don't know what BookBolt is, correct?
Correct.
Okay, cool. So let me get into BookBolt. My computer is acting really slow today. Okay, so BookBolt is a website that you can use to create your own low content interiors when it comes to uploading anything on Amazon. So it has a free version and it also has a paid version. The paid version, if you see here, it gives you an option to create your covers. It gives you an option to create crossword puzzles, coloring pages, word search mazes all in one. But let me go into, so I'm not logged in. I have the paid version. I'm paying $19 a month, I believe. It's either $9 or $19. But I am using BookBolt because BookBolt also gives you what category your books need to be in, it gives you an option to create different interiors. So I'm going to just select interior wizard. And so let's say you wanted to create a simple journal. It gives you the option to either select no bleed and bleed. No bleed meaning each page is its own. It has the lines on each page. Bleed is when you have a page that is separating both pages, like a blank page separating both pages, so that, let me show you. So that when someone is printing, it doesn't, why is my brain not working? When someone is printing, it's not bleeding through the page. So as for example, this page right here, I have a page spaced in between so that when Amazon prints the page, they won't be able to see this journal belongs to you and the clip art in the back of the page.
Gotcha.
Okay, so let me go back. So let's say I wanted to create a 6x9 with 100 pages, a journal. Here it says member only login. So the ones that say member only, that means that you have to have the pro account in order to download them. But the ones that do not say member only, it is completely free to download. Meaning if we wanted to create a journal and upload it to Amazon right now, we could. So I'm just going to download. This says no bleed, paperback 6x9, and download. So we're going to hit download. Oh, give me 1 second. I selected the blank page. Let me go back and select journal. Paperback 6x9, and now I'm going to hit download. And now we have 100 lined journals that we can make a cover for and upload it to Amazon. So you really didn't have to do any work. If you want to create like word search, crossword puzzles, and things like that that are already KDP ready, you can get the pro version. It does have a lot of benefits to it, but that's if you want to regularly upload things to Amazon.
Okay.
Yes, so it says newbie, $9 a month. I did use the $9 a month before, but then $19.99 is what came with the puzzle creation software. The $9 a month, you can basically create your cover and interior in BookBolt, and it'll already be ready to upload to Amazon. And then let's say, for instance, I just created this journal. I can go into KDP cover calculator. And then all I have to do is input this information in order for Amazon to tell me what format size my cover should be. So we can do the binding type as paperback. Your interior is black and white. The paper type is white paper. The page turn is left to right. Measurements are inches, and our trim size for the pages we selected were 6x9 inches. And then I selected 100 pages. Now the page count is very crucial because what Amazon does is it prints out your paperback cover first, and it folds over however many pages your manuscript is. So if you are saying that we have 100 pages, but realistically we probably have 120, that means that when they fold over your manuscript, the sizing may be off. So now I'm going to just click calculate dimensions, and it gives you an option to download the template. So it also gives you the full cover width and height. What I'm going to do is download the template. And now I am, let's see. I'm going to Canva, and I'm going to type in the width and height in inches. So I'm going to back to Canva, and then I'm going to click customize. Oops. Customize, and I'm just going to erase this, and I'm going to type in 12.75 by 9.25, and I'm going to create a new design. So for example, if you are just going to create 100-page 6x9 coloring books, your size is going to always be 12.475 inches by 9.25 inches. But you can easily just download the template that the KDP cover calculator gives you. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to get rid of my margins. And now I am going into my File section, and I'm going to select the paperback file that I downloaded. I'm going to click Extract All. And then I'm going to my upload section, and I'm going to just upload. I'm going to click on my file and upload the template. All right, now my template is on the canvas. What I like to do is I will right click and set image as background, and I'm going to my element section, and I want to create a spine. So they give a dotted line area where we can add our spine. I'm going to use the square element and kind of put it in the shape of the spine. And I want to make sure it's in the center. And now we have our spine. Like so. Now I can detach the image from the background. If I wanted to create like an outline on my books, then I would then use another square element to cover this orange section like we did for our spine. But I don't really create outlines for the books. I just create the front and back. So I'm going to detach the image, and now I can delete. Now it comes to our front and back cover. When Amazon is printing our books, they are printing it in a way that the right-hand side is our front cover and the left-hand side is the back cover, and they fold the cover over the manuscript. So our right side is always going to be the front cover. So now I can go to Creative Fabrica. Let me know if at any point you have any questions.
No, I'm just kind of following along. Just kind of watching and following along. Okay.
So are you in the journal class?
Don't think so.
I can actually add you to it. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So I just added you to it.
Okay.
In the journal class, I give some clip art that I download from Creative Fabrica so that people can use it for their journal cover.
Mm-hmm.
So downloading is the same way that we did the digital stamps, but I am going to use some clip art that I already had. Let me go into my folder section. All right, so now I uploaded some things that I got from Creative Fabrica. I'm just going to use this stripe digital paper. You can easily make your own digital paper, or you can in the actual, let's see, let's delete this. In the actual canvas, you can, let's see. You can choose maybe like watercolor. And then let's say I want to set the image as, so the spine, I like to have my spine kind of coordinate the journal color. So what I do is I go to the plus sign when I select the color that I want my spine to be, and I click on the dropper tool, and I look for a color that I would want my spine to be, and I just click it, and it changes the color. And then let's say this is a very simple journal cover. I can use the square rounded square element, and then I can maximize it. And let's say I just want to upload a composition book. I can change the color to white. I can change the border color to the same color as my, whoops, white, change the border color to the same color as my spine. And then let's say I want to add a butterfly. So I'm going to look for a butterfly. I'm going to minimize my butterfly. I'm going to then add the butterfly here, and then a second butterfly I'll add right here. And then I'm going to just write notes, or maybe notebook. And then I want to have it in a cursive font. So I'm going to double click this search bar, and then it's going to give me like handwriting, corporate, different types of fonts. Somewhere in here is calligraphy. So I'm going to select calligraphy, and then I'm just going to find a font. And then I'm going to add the font here. And now we have a simple composition book that we can upload. Now, if I wanted to add maybe some clip art, I can go back to my folders. And let's see. I'm going to add her right here. I want to change the color of the spine to maybe the color of her shirt. So I am selecting the spine. I'm clicking on the plus sign and clicking the dropper. And I am just going to select her shirt. And now it is the same color as the cardigan she's wearing. And now I am going to, let's see, pick a text. And let's just type my gratitude. And I'm going to find a font. And then I'm going to type in journal.